We flip over to 130 here. Oh, I'd like to call the meeting to order and welcome everyone. Bob has just informed me that we have a quorum. We are missing Mary Picard, who is ill. She called me this morning and has an upper respiratory problem. So we wish her well and hope she gets back on her feet quickly. And we welcome friends Barbara and Nancy, and David Sill he attended our meeting last month, and last month after the meeting he was expressing to me the desire of the library folks to be able to work with the COA as the planning board worked with us. So David's has been coming to our meetings, is going to be coming to our meetings. And welcome Ann Lee Ellis, who just walked in as I was making introductions. And Ann Lee has applied to be a member of our board. So we will be spending some time talking to her later on in the agenda. So, this reminder, this is an open meeting. And I think we're all current, hopefully we are all current on the open meeting laws, and we will abide by those laws. So, okay. Announcements. Do any of the board members have any announcements? Don't all raise your hand at once. If not, I have a couple that I'd like to make. And one is that I'd like to, just so people know who this lady is sitting next to me, I will introduce Jamie Gutner. Gutner is correct.
That is.
And I think Anthony will speak to you later on more about her when he's on the agenda first shot anyway. So. But I wanted the audience to know who this person was sitting to my left. And Jamie is our new interim director of Human and Elder Services. So we welcome you.
Thank you.
And are grateful you're here.
Thank you.
So. And another announcement that I have is I really would like to thank the Friends for that wonderful luncheon last week, Wednesday. The holiday celebration. It was very nice. As are all of the things you put on. But that was really, really very pleasant. Very enjoyable. So, and to segue right into this, I'm sharing this. It came to the Loving Stitches group. And the Loving Stitches group is a COA group that meets on Mondays from 10 to 12, and they knit all year, and whatever they make is donated either to a charity. They always keep things that they give to the Friends at the end of, or the 1st of December, because the Friends pay for a table at the town fair, and they sell the items to raise funds for senior activities. So we have this nice note to the Loving Stitches group, and I wanted to share it with everyone. Oh, Mary has a shawl I think she bought there. She's showing off.
No,
so.
This came from my friend Tina over here. I treasure it.
All right.
It's lovely.
So the note says, because of you, we will have a warm winter with very warm hearts. You do so much for us guys and others in town. Thank you. And it's signed by, it says, thank you, you guys are the very best. What a great job you girls do. Thank you so much. And it's signed by all of the board members and some of the Friends. So thank you. It's very thoughtful of you to do that. And send that to the Loving Stitches group. So they've already started knitting for next year. So, all right. And the only other announcement I have is that I wanted our viewers to be aware of the fact that the Loaves and Fishes clothing room, which people that go to Loaves and Fishes utilize, is closing the end of December.
Permanently?
Which
Permanently.
one?
The Loaves
Air?
and Fishes clothing room in Air.
Air.
And there are other resources, and one of the resources that's on their list, the handout that they're giving to their clients, is the thrift shop here in Littleton. And they're hopeful that people will find a resource, to be able to supplement their wardrobe as they have, and clients will miss that because it was always free. And granted, there's a small price charge, but the thrift shop is very, very frugal here and not expensive in order to purchase things. So I wanted people to know that the thrift shop here, run by the Friends, is an alternative place for them to go for clothing. So it's a big loss for a lot of those clients. They're feeling it. But Loaves and Fishes, the board of directors felt that it was not really a part of their mission to be providing clothes. Their mission is to provide food. And they felt that they needed the space. So, all right. Has anyone thought of an announcement before we move on? No? Okay. Then we'll move on to accept the minutes. I'll give you a couple of minutes, and I apologize. Patty so skillfully took our minutes of our last meeting because Bob was not here. She sent them to me in a very timely fashion, and she didn't have the logo letterhead. So I was trying to transcribe them to get them on the logo letterhead, and had difficulty and then problems with my own personal life, which took me away from doing things like that, but I got them completed. They're in your packet, and I know you haven't had time to read them. So if you want to take a minute to glance at them so that you can approve them or make corrections, please do.
One correction under number 3 in the director's position. It should say COA director instead of direction.
Direction. Yep, it's a spelling error.
That would be twice.
Director.
Director from Groton and COA director from Needham.
Okey doke. Thank you, Patty. COA director.
Can you send me a copy of that so I can get it into my machine?
I'll send it to you,
Send me a
Bob.
copy of this.
She doesn't have a copy in her computer yet either, because I had
No,
great problems.
I want her online copy, the one you typed it from.
Okay. Oh, I can do that too. Either way.
Correct it first. I move we accept the minutes of November
Second.
13th. No, I can't do that because I wasn't here.
No, you can't.
I move that we accept the minutes
Second?
as corrected.
As corrected, thank you.
I second it.
Thank you, Mary. All those in favor? Aye. Is that nod of your head down there, Maureen? You're okay. Okay, it's unanimous. Thank you. Okey dokey. Now it's Anthony's turn.
Thanks, Marge. So again, I want to welcome Jamie Guttner to as the interim director for EHS. We're really fortunate to have Jamie. Jamie comes to us where she was correct me if I'm wrong if I get the titles messed up, Jamie, but she was the former director of the Council on Aging for the town of Needham. Very involved, very well respected by her managers who I spoke to both. She has a wealth of knowledge. She went from working in a basement COA of 6,500 square feet to building the beautiful center they have over there in Needham now. So Jamie will be with us as we transition into a permanent director. And with that, we've conducted our first rounds of interviews. We interviewed 4, and of which 3 members of this board sat on it and did a great job. And we're hoping to whittle it to 2 and then do follow-up interviews with them, and then bring them before this board as well as the Board of Selectmen. So I was excited with the candidates.
Yep.
We had 20 great resumes, and difficult to whittle them down to 4 and then to get them down to 2 and then selecting somebody. So I think it's gonna be an exciting opportunity for the next person to come in here, and then to have Jamie's assistance during that transition is gonna be really helpful. So thank you, Jamie, and welcome to Littleton.
Thank you for
I tried
having
to have her leave retirement and come full-time, but she wouldn't have anything on that. But thank you for helping
Thank
us
you.
out.
Yep.
Anthony, I
So-
have one question.
Sure.
Are these applicants all from Littleton?
There was one?
Two, I think.
There was two from Littleton of the four that we interviewed.
So it's not a requirement that the director be
No.
from the town?
No, there's no residency requirement for any position in Littleton.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions for Tony before we move on? I think things are going along in a great direction. So, thanks to the town for taking a lead in this and getting us, help here. I think it really is going to be helpful. So, and I'm sure Tina and Nicole might be welcoming her presence too. Because they're the ones that are here all the time, 5 days of the week. I almost said 24/7. I know Tina is always going, so I'm sure Nicole is too. Yes. So, yeah. So, welcome again.
Thank you.
Okay, somebody from the Friends, would you like to come to the table and give us your report?
Sure, all of us.
All of you, well, you'll have to step around, we can have
you
one of,
see?
Nancy on the other side of you if you want.
She'll have her. Yeah.
How can you see that little thing?
Hang on. Welcome, Jamie.
Thank you so much. You need spectacles?
Yeah,
Here.
no, you'll have to forgive me because I did have an eye test this morning. No, thank you. And so you're all in a little cloud.
That's okay, it's all up here anyway, we know Barbara, you're very sharp. So,
Anyway, first of all, I want to say happy holidays to everyone. And I want to thank everyone that came to that luncheon that we gave, our Christmas luncheon. It really was fun to have everyone. And we had, I think, over 100 guests. But again, you have to sign up early if you want to be on our list, because we had to turn some people away because they came in the last 2 days to sign up. So, and we try to fit everybody in that we can, but sometimes we have to turn people away, and we don't like to do that. So you should sign up now for our January 10th 50s party. It's going to be a 50s pizza party. And we're asking that you bring a picture from the 50s of yourself.
I was just a child.
We can
Really pushing your luck, Barbara.
we can find out what a difference a day makes. But anyway, so the 10th of January, get into that office and sign up or call up. And I want to thank everyone too out there and here for the donations to the thrift shop. And Loaves and Fishes, that's very nice of them to think of us to give clothes to. We're going to be showing things, all new things, all month, and there's a lot of party clothes. So drop in and look around. I mean, you might find something that you like. And the Friends Board does continue to make plans for programs that will help and will be of interest to our young and elder seniors. It's a new age, and we want to keep up. So we are also keeping up with the youngsters by our intergenerational program, and I'm going to let Nancy Levine have the stage. So,
okay.
thank you.
Thank you. The intergenerational program is doing extremely well, and I have to back off just for a minute to thank Mary. Mary gave me some unused Christmas cards that she had, and she handpicked them for children to use. I was at Shaker Lane last Friday with the Book Buddy program, and I gave them to the teacher. Not knowing what was happening, the school had been asked to make cards to send to Marines overseas.
Oh, wow.
And they were going to use the cards however they wanted, and some of the children wrote on the cards, but some of them cut it out and pasted it on their own card that they made.
That's nice.
And this was just very, very heartwarming, so thank you, Mary.
You're
Went to
welcome.
Very good use.
Did they accept the calendars that I gave you the month before?
Yes.
10 of them?
Yes.
Yeah.
And because there were quite a few cards, it was going to be shared with other kindergarten classes.
Isn't that nice? I'm glad.
Yes. Daisy Girl Scouts have approached me, and they are kindergartners. They want to get involved with doing stuff for seniors to earn their first badge. I think they're going to be probably 5 years old.
Oh, wow.
So that is just fantastic. And I have had some issues too. I have an impacted wisdom tooth that's being pulled Wednesday, so I've been delayed in some of my responses. But I will be talking to the kindergarten brownie leader this afternoon. Then I have been in contact with the CCD classes. They wanted to get involved with the seniors, and tomorrow they are bringing over candy bags to be used for the social club, to be used for bingo, and to be used for other people that come into the diner or in need. I was thinking of giving some to Tina for people who come into the office and would just like a little pick-me-up. It's going to have hard candy and Hershey Kisses in it.
Nice.
So that was pretty great. Then I
Nice.
had the third graders came last week, Friday, and decorated the diner. If you have not been down to the diner to see, you should take a look. They also made some cards and placemats for the Meals on Wheels people.
Oh, that's nice.
So that was pretty great.
You're busy.
Yes, I have been in contact with the O'Neill Theater, and we are working on some things. I don't have copies for everyone, but if you want to pass it down, and I'll pass it over here for you guys to see. They have been very active even before they were approached by giving discounts to seniors. On Tuesdays, for everyone, no matter what your age, movies all day are $6
On Tuesdays?
on Tuesdays. And you can buy a large popcorn for $4 and a large drink for $4. On Wednesdays, it's Senior Wednesday. And that is all day long. Tickets are $7. And if you want to buy a senior popcorn and a senior drink, a combo will cost you $4. So I think that was pretty nice of them even before they were asked. We are working on doing some other things. I don't have the information to share with you yet, but hopefully next month we will.
That's really great.
It is great.
Busy, busy, busy.
Busy, busy, busy.
And that's a huge savings. I don't know how many of you have been to the movie theater, but I took my grandchildren the week after they opened, and, you know, that's big savings. So take advantage of it, folks.
Yes, it
Really,
is.
Wednesdays, maybe I won't be available. Maybe I'll be at the movies every week. So,
Okay, so thank you.
thank you.
Nancy.
That
you.
intergenerational program is just growing by leaps and bounds. It's amazing. Yeah, it's really great. Started with one little small thing, right, with your reading.
Yeah, which what Tina started a long time ago.
Yeah.
And she got so overwhelmed, she just asked if there was someone who could help. And this has been going on, I've been doing it maybe now for 5 years, but it keeps growing and growing.
Growing, yeah.
And I used to work for the school department, so it just comes naturally to me, because I'm a star.
She does go out after things, so, yes.
I'm exhausted.
Well, thank you. We know, because you do a lot. Friends does a huge amount. We're very fortunate in this
I'd
town
like to do more.
to have a great Friends group. So, Any questions for any of the friends? Are we ready to move on? Okay. Old business. Report from the membership subcommittee. Which one of you are going to speak? Maureen, okay.
It was already decided.
Oh, she's shy. I don't think so, though.
So, we met last week, and we had a discussion about, we had one candidate, which we were really glad to hear about with regard to the board. But we've also talked about the fact that look around your neighborhoods, look around your groups, your churches.
Are you talking about membership?
Yes.
On the
Isn't
board?
that what I'm supposed to be talking
Yes,
about?
you just didn't say that.
Oh,
So
I'm
I'm just
sorry.
clarifying it, I think,
Yes,
for people.
I am talking about membership.
Board membership.
Board membership for the COA. And look around and see if there's someone that you think would be willing to serve, would be interested, some new ideas, some fresh blood, if you will. It's also good that I heard Anthony say that for no board in the town, do you have to be a resident?
Well,
I thought,
no.
Not board,
Employees.
position, employee.
oh, employee,
Yeah, no, boards, yes, you have to
Okay.
be residents.
okay.
I was-
See, I thought that was gonna open up another avenue.
No more avenues, please.
But just look around, encourage people to come
And just, oh, I'm sorry.
and, attend some meetings, see what it's like.
Just to point out to people that are watching, we have 2 vacancies on the
Right.
board, and we do have 1 applicant that's here today, so that's why I think you're referring to.
Right.
2? Oh, I don't have your application yet, though, so I'm sorry.
It's downstairs,
It is, okay.
and nothing can be done until after the first of the year. Either one.
Oh, okay. No, well, I'm not prepared, I'm sorry, as far as, I am prepared for Ann Lee, we've had her application, so, and she is here to speak to the board in a few minutes, but, you'll be on the agenda next month, David, then if that's the case, so thank you.
Yep.
So that's good news, so. See, you never know, do you?
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to add to that? That's
I
great.
don't think that we had anything else.
Okay, great.
Are these things that you passed out coming from the membership committee for the board, for the book? Are these changes in the meeting law and so forth coming from the membership committee?
Yes. Well,
Are they coming from
yeah, they're
Jean?
coming-
Jean, well, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, we just got the new ones from Diane, and so they have to be replaced. You
Okay, but
weren't
that's a-
here when we originally did it.
We did it last
Right,
month.
So-
but that's a different thing, okay.
Yeah.
This is the Minuteman from your
That's
representative.
from Bedford, if you just wanna read up on some of the things.
No, I'm not talking about that, I'm talking about the other part that was handed out at the same time.
That was
That's-
handed out last month.
Right,
Oh, okay.
which goes into
I
your
didn't
book.
realize that, okay.
Okay. And then this are handouts, just for point of clarification.
Right.
Jean is our representative to Minuteman Services in Bedford? Bedford. And so she attends meetings every month there. And this is feedback that she's providing us from Minuteman, these handouts. Okay, we deviated for a few minutes there, but
Yeah.
thanks for the question, Bob, so we almost overlooked the handouts. Okay. Any questions for the membership subcommittee? If not, we're going to move on to our carryover from last month. We talked, if you recall, about our subcommittees, and I asked you to refresh your memories about our goals that we had established back, well over a year ago, and to think about whether or not we felt that we should reorganize our subcommittees. because the Housing Subcommittee is taking a little vacation. Is that a good way to describe it, Patty?
I called it a respite.
A respite, okay, that's a better word. The Housing Subcommittee is taking a respite period. We have had a Space Committee, which was inactivated a while ago because there wasn't any activity there to be paying attention to for space. However, I suggested we reconsider that because the space issue is going to be becoming more active and we needed to be ready, you know, if there's activity and considerations and thought, and because of we know that people have expressed ideas about having, you know, more space in Shattuck Street, and some people were saying maybe we should have our own separate senior center, and so there's work that can be done there, I think. And maybe the subcommittee could be helpful. And then the membership subcommittee, and we have the awareness subcommittee. The awareness subcommittee has only one board member on it right now because we've been short board members, plus the other board members, so many were involved in the housing subcommittee. But since they're on respite, they could maybe sign up to another subcommittee and help out. So what do you folks think we should do? Should we keep our subcommittees the way they are with the Space Committee inactive? Should we reactivate that primarily? Should board members, if they would like, can we shift, you know, membership onto if we do reactivate the Space Committee? We would need more than one person. Bob is the only person that was on that Space Committee, subcommittee, that is currently on the board, I believe. If I'm not mistaken.
I didn't even know that.
I think I remember
Yeah, you
that.
were, Bob.
Okay.
But anyway, so that's the discussion that I would like to have so that we can make a decision today.
Could
Yes,
I
Patty.
ask, Anthony, a question? Is there any rumblings about any feedback on the space coming forward from the town?
So we, excuse me, we asked the engineer that did the study to expedite that report. I'm expecting it hopefully this week. I think we'll have it this week. And then we would look at it and present at a Board of Selectmen's meeting in January.
Okay, well, based on that statement, then I think it's of the essence that we activate a subcommittee for space to look at pros and cons of staying in this building, and if we do, what we need and the amount we need, comparing it to going to an outside facility and getting a senior center. We need to do the pros and the cons of both of those, and that would be a task for the subcommittee. It's an ominous task, but it can be done. So you would, personally, I would recommend 3 people be on that subcommittee to look at something like that, to compare senior center, staying in place, space needed in a place like we have right here, considering all the ramifications of a senior center separately, thinking also that when you're in a separate place, you have responsibilities that you don't have here. That's just my opinion. So that's one thing. The Awareness Committee has one person. Now there were myself, Bob, Mary, and Mary. We had the 3 Marys and Bob on the Housing Committee. 2 more people can go over to Awareness, because with Awareness, we've been very lax on making known a lot of things. So it doesn't hurt for a couple of us to be on 2 committees.
Oh,
So
Doesn't
that's
hurt
just
you,
my
it might
opinion.
hurt me.
That's my opinion.
Thanks, Pat.
okay, any board member wish to say anything?
I agree. I think
I'll get to you, Barbara.
I think that we should definitely reactivate the Space Committee. I wonder how staying in place will be affected by whether or not the library moves or doesn't move. Because that will definitely impact the amount of space that would become available in this building. And would we have access as a senior center for all of that space or not?
Well, that's all the unknowns that we're dealing with, you're right.
The committee's report, the preliminary report included options with the library still in the building, with the library not in the building. But I think it's gonna be 2 or 3 years before anything happens with the space, very honestly. I think they're gonna make I think they're gonna make the recommendations, but a lot of that is gonna depend on what happens with the library.
Right.
It is, but that's the point of doing the what if, the pros and cons of staying here, and what the amount of space we believe we need, the pros and cons of going outside, and what we need.
Well,
They're dealing only, the Space Committee, as I understand it, is only dealing with the options in this building. What can we do? And, am I right, Anthony?
Yeah, if I can, so,
I mean,
if the library does move and gets that, the new library, yes, there would be amount of space that could be available, but there would be, if we did any type of renovations, and if it goes over a certain dollar amount, and I'm kind of forgetting, I think it's like $500,000, then that has to be brought up to ADA. So, and this building is not ADA compliant, meaning the elevators and so forth. So even if that was vacant, we're still limited to what we can do as far as, because once we start doing some renovations, and I gotta tell you, $500,000 is,
nothing.
goes like that.
Yeah.
So, so that's something that, it's not an easy, they're out, we can just move in and we can just do what we want.
Right, it isn't gonna work that easily.
It's not that easy.
They're also talking about the possibility of some of the town offices going, renting the DCU building or buying it or something, and putting all them over there so that that would open more space. But all of this is gonna take significant time.
And money.
And we need to face that fact, you know, it isn't gonna be an easy solution. But yes, a space committee could, well, keep up with things, report to the board, get suggestions, and work with the town committee to see what we can do. I would have no objection to that. I would serve on that committee, as I am, I suppose, I've been told I am now, all by myself.
It's in print, Bob.
Okay.
Wasn't a simple solution when the library goes, Park and Rec goes over there, and the council would have that end of the building?
Well, you just heard Anthony explain, too, that, you know, the renovations, the dollar amounts are so important, because if you were to bring this building up to the American Disabilities Act, ADA, standards, it would be a lot of money.
That's all they'd have to do is take the bottom floor
No, there are all
No.
kinds of things they have.
on that end.
No,
it doesn't
Mary,
work
it's
that
very
way.
involved. You have to have elevators that
We
are,
have one.
it's not it's not the
You're
right
right,
size.
you're right
Your right
there,
size,
yeah.
yeah. So it's
So there's
big
a
money.
lot more than that.
There's a lot of
involved, yeah.
complicating factors, and that's the reason why we
Yeah.
need to maybe, though, have the subcommittee so that people can understand them.
I was just
What we
looking
need
for
is to have
something
a-
simple
We need
and
to
less
have it,
expensive.
No simple in any of these, actually.
IBM buy us a building and
Yeah.
give us our own place.
Barbara's trying to say something here, so I'd like to recognize, can you come to the table, though, please? So people can hear you.
Okay, I'm not sure if you want to hear. No.
Wow, I don't know. Open meeting, Barbara.
No, I just wanted to know if, for this committee, can outsiders come and sit in it? I would love to be able to have a part of that committee.
Subcommittees of the board do have people that are not on the board, and they can participate in the meetings. They don't have a vote, but they can participate, certainly.
Okay, because that's what I wanted to hear. I would love to attend those meetings.
Well, I think it would be great to have
You know,
friends
I
working
feel
together
like
with us.
I've talked to a lot of people and have some ideas that I'd like to share. I don't care if I can't vote. That's up to, I mean, at least I could get those ideas out there. and that's important.
Well, I think it would be wonderful to have the Friends and the COA work that closely together.
Yeah, I mean, we're all going to the same
Right.
direction.
That's right.
So I feel that, and we don't know if that's down or,
Right.
but, yeah.
And
We
you
have-
know, all the brains working together makes a
Yeah.
big difference.
So as long as I know that we can come, that I could come and have a say, you know, at least voice an opinion, that's what I wanted to hear.
Well, subcommittees can do that, where the board cannot itself, but we can't have, you know, that kind of thing. We can have guests at meetings, but not actually working and going to all the subcommittee meetings all the time. Well, outsiders can come. Those are open meetings. The subcommittees are posted open meetings also.
Okay.
So other people can come to those meetings.
So, just like here, I can at least say, have you thought about this?
But it's a smaller group, it's easier to, I think, the people that were on the housing subcommittee really realized, you know, when you're dealing with a smaller group, it's sometimes easier to work and to get things accomplished. And then, you know, you have, it's just a little bit different.
Okay,
With a large
so
group.
Patty, do you think that when you have a meeting, that,
We haven't
I'm not
established,
on the
we haven't
subcommittee.
established,
oh, you're not? I thought you were.
No, Bob is.
Bob,
and we
Oh, dear.
have, we have not reestablished that subcommittee
Okay,
yet.
well, whoever gets on the, whoever's doing this,
We
I would love to
recognize-
know when the meetings.
Don't forget when you assume something happens.
But,
No,
yeah,
I'm glad
because
you
as far as
spoke
the
up.
building is concerned, or space, or anything like that, you know that we're gonna be using a lot of it, too. So that's why I'd like to know if we could come.
No, we
and-
should be a team,
Yeah,
Friends and COA and everybody.
Good.
So, I'm glad you
Thank
spoke
you.
up, that's good, thank you.
all right.
So,
Okay, what do you want to do, Marge?
okay. I think we need to take a vote to see if we want to reestablish this subcommittee.
I move we reestablish the subcommittee on space.
Or reactivate it, not reestablish. Well,
Reactivate.
reestablish to reactivate. We have to reestablish with new board members, so. Okay, I have a motion to reactivate, reestablish the housing subcommittee, all the.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Second,
whoa, whoa,
a
whoa.
second?
It was moved to reactivate the Space Committee.
Correct.
Okay, that's the first step.
The subcommittee on space.
We need a second to that motion.
I think Jean did.
I think she did too. We'll let Bob get caught up.
Go ahead.
Any
Well,
discussion?
you're okay? All right. So we have a motion, and, which has been seconded, to reactivate, reestablish the space subcommittee. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it's unanimous, Bob. Thank you. Having accomplished that, I'll put it down as an accomplishment, or refer to it as an accomplishment.
Now the bad part.
Who would like to join Bob on this subcommittee? So, and you're willing to stay on the membership subcommittee as you are now? All right,
Okay,
Jean
now-
Johnson would like to
Now
be,
we're appointing people to this committee.
Yes.
correct.
You're going on the space committee? Oh, good.
Yeah, you coming on?
So Bob's on it,
And Patty.
Jean.
And Patty.
Okay, will consist of
So, do we
following
want
appointments.
to? I'm sorry, Bob, I didn't mean to cut you
Who
off.
are the appointments?
Jean,
Jean,
we haven't gotten any further yet.
myself,
And Patty.
Do we want to wait until we fill the other two positions on the board before someone else joins the space committee?
No, I'll volunteer.
All right, Patty,
on the Space Committee?
Sure.
Okay, the Space Committee will
And then
consist of the
everybody
following
else will go
appointments.
anywhere
Jean
else
Johnson,
can
Bob
be.
Stetson, Patty Hunt, and
That's you.
that's four of you, that's fine.
That's three.
Barbara McRae. Yeah, okay.
Well, no, Barbara McRae isn't appointed, she
No, I
comes.
know.
Yes.
that's three. Where do you get
That's
five?
three,
Three.
three. 2, 3, that's good, that's a good amount. All right. Now, is it the wish of the board to, we can wait, to answer you, Maureen, let me back up for a minute. I think what we can do is, when we do have a new member on board, then we explain the board's, the openings on the subcommittees, et cetera, because it is a job, it's in the job description that a board member serves on a subcommittee, so. And I think the other committees can, get along. They're getting along right now, as is, so we can
Well,
go
we
from
could
there.
still fill the awareness committee.
We do,
Because
well,
only,
Mary, you don't have a subcommittee now with the housing subcommittee on respite.
I'm on respite.
Right. So maybe you could give some time to one of the other subcommittees.
I'll think about it.
Membership committee will consist of,
I'm thinking.
the awareness subcommittee will consist of,
The awareness subcommittee consists of Mary Picard at the moment. She needs help on that subcommittee.
The
She's
awareness.
only one person.
Awareness?
Awareness.
Yes.
You're good at writing things and helping with that.
I'm thinking. I have a husband in very poor health,
I know. Well,
and my time is not my time.
but it is a required part of the job description of a board member that you serve.
I know, my time's almost up too.
Okay.
Well, we'll deal
All
with
right,
that one.
okay.
all right, who's on the membership committee now?
Maureen,
Jean,
Donnelly, Jean Johnson, and myself.
Okay, and the awareness subcommittee at this point has one member.
One member. And that's, we will wait and,
and what?
Tread.
Oh, tread's nothing. That doesn't count.
That's nothing.
no. Mary, next month, you can, please give us your answer, okay?
Think about it.
Okey doke. You have to give us an answer sooner or later. So
An
next
answer-
month,
An answer for which committee?
yes,
Okay.
okay?
Once a year.
Thank you.
Although it's now been 3.
All right, is there any other discussion on, you look puzzled, Patty.
No, Maureen and I are just
Okay.
eyeing each other.
Okay,
I'm trying to get her to go on awareness because tread doesn't really count because that's,
right, no, that's not a subcommittee.
no, it's not a subcommittee anyway, that's right. And Mary could use the help on awareness.
And Mary Picard,
Pops up and Maureen pops up, then it's Scrubba. And then the new person, if she decides to go on the board, she can go on any of them as the new person and then just learn as she's going from everybody else.
good thinking.
It's a training process for
Right.
her, so she could learn from seasoned people. So that's what,
4 months. I've now become seasoned.
no, but I mean,
Okay,
that's
let's
the
keep going.
All right,
progression of it.
okay. All right. So, is there any other necessary discussion at this moment about the new focus? And goal focus. So our goal primarily, I think we have,
Next month.
established really is to just at least take a look at the housing issue. So, right now. And the subcommittee will do that.
Housing or space?
I mean space. Sorry, did I say housing?
Yeah.
I'm still so excited about the housing accomplishments. I'm sorry, I apologize.
I have one more comment.
Yes.
It's kind of selfish comment, but I mean, everybody around the table seems to be very interested in pushing Patty Hunt onto a committee.
You're so
yeah.
wonderful, that's why.
No, wait a minute, Mary. That's not the point.
I know.
Everybody's very good at saying, oh, Patty Hunt, why don't you go on? Jean's over there saying it,
I
you're
know.
saying it. And yet, other people are sitting around the table saying, oh, no, I can't do this, I can't do that. We're
Yeah,
all on the same board.
I know.
We all have an ability, we all have responsibilities. So I'm not going to sit here and not make a comment. You have to step up, you have to step up. Jean has stepped up, Bob has stepped up. I'm not gonna be the only one stepping up, I'm sorry.
We're getting new members soon, I hope.
Well, as I said, if a new member
Doesn't matter.
accepts, she can join the board, the subcommittee
Okay.
that's already existing and learn from those of us on the committee.
All right. I think you're right, Patty. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody can argue that point, and thank you for bringing it up.
Right.
But, thank you. And we will hear from Mary next month on that.
It's part of the thing, so
Oh.
we really shouldn't be thinking about it a month from now. She should either step up or.
Well, we're going to move on, I think. We need to move on. Okay? Okay.
New business, Morrison Trust.
And we move on to the Morrison Trust donation, which I didn't write down the exact amount. Was it 3,000?
5,000.
5,000, that's right. 5,000, thank you, Anthony. The Morrison Trust has been very generous to the COA in the past years and has contributed $5,000 to help in our programming. In the past years, the COA board has voted to split the $5,000 between the TREAD program and transportation. I'm not, TREAD program and transportation. So the board needs to decide what we would like to do this year and where we think, because we do not actually, supervise and manage, but we need to make recommendations as to where we think this money should go. So what are your thoughts on that?
I recommend we give it to Tina to handle. She certainly
It has to go to a program, Mary.
Oh, okay.
Well, the TREAD program is very important,
That's
and
part
I think that's a good choice. I'm not sure where transportation is. If transportation is still with us at this point, I think that's fine, that it should go there, because we still have the overages from things. But at some point, the whole MART thing is supposed to go out of our hands completely. I don't know when that's going to happen. At least that was the plan.
Well, and the other issue is that we always have a transportation fund to help defray repair
Right,
costs and
because
things of that
we
nature.
end up with more
Right.
hours than the drivers are given by MART and so forth, and
Yeah.
so we've used it for there. So I have no problem with that being the use for it, to give it to apply it to the TREAD program and transportation.
Other thoughts about that?
I mean, I'm new to this, so as far as I'm concerned, if that's what the board feels, then that's fine with me.
And just to get back a little bit to Mary's comment, the TREAD program is something that Tina is very involved in, correct, Tina?
Yes.
And so it is, in essence, giving it to Tina in a way to help her with that program. So it's not that we're not thinking about where it could be used. So it gets out to things. I'm sorry,
Can I just
Anne Lee.
ask what the TREAD program is?
Yeah. Who would like to explain that? Do we have people here on the board that attend the meetings? Anybody want to, Tina, would you like to
Okay.
address it, please?
Okay, great. It's tax relief for elders and disabled. I can give you some written materials on it. It was started, last year we had 3 applicants and that were approved. It was the committee with the members that are here that are on that committee, confidentially got together, reviewed all the applicants, and they were accepted. This year it had grown to 9. I expect next year there will be more because we had about another 6 that thought about it and decided against it, and they may go for it next year. So it's to give tax relief. Last year, I think it may have been 2 $600 grants and 1 $700. This year, it's in the $400 range for the 9 applicants who were approved for the program. And
Money for TREAD does not come from the town at all. It comes only from private donations, so it has to be things like this or individuals who give to the TREAD fund to make up whatever it is that they give out, and then they split it up amongst the people who are approved for it, so.
Thank you, good question. No, thank you.
Patty,
Good question.
anything you wanted to add to it?
No, you
that's it.
handle the program, so it's well done.
All right.
It's a very good, effective program
It's great, and
To
I
help-
see it as
to
growing.
help
Yeah.
with tax relief for people who just can't afford the taxes in Littleton. I mean, I think any money that goes to it would be worthwhile.
That's it. Okay, thanks.
So is the board considering splitting it again? The money, the $5,000 equally?
That's what was moved.
Okay? That was moved?
I'll second it.
I didn't, I did
You
get
moved
moved.
it, right, Maureen?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you
I
did.
said,
I
no,
would
said
move that
since I was
the-
new on the board,
to
I
apply the
would go
funds.
along with what the board chose because I had no knowledge of it
Okay,
prior to this.
thank you. Okay, Bob, go
I
ahead.
would move it to the TRED and transportation overages. TRED program and transportation overages, in equal,
Okay.
in equal amounts.
Okay, equal amounts. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Maureen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous, Bob. Thank you. All right, moving on. You have in your packets an application from Ann Lee Ellis. Ann Lee, would you like to come forward to the microphone? Just for your knowledge, we have the microphones here, and we ask people to come forward so that people watching, this is televised, and so that people watching can hear you, rather than, you know, when you're sitting over there, someone on TV can't hear.
Right.
So, and you have in your packet Ann Lee's application, and you also have the suggested questions to ask when interviewing a candidate for a board appointment that we have used in the past and agreed upon. So, and I've invited Ann Lee to come to meet all of you. I think you have a sense of who everyone is now, after attending.
I think Patty is the only one that I really haven't had any experience with,
Well,
so.
I'm glad.
And I
that you're-
recognize Hunt,
So-
growing up here my whole life in Littleton.
Yep. So, and you've gotten to, you were here when I introduced Jamie, I
Yes.
think? Yes, and so
I
you've gotten to know who
Thank you so
Jamie
much.
is. And I know you know a lot of the other folks here, because Ann Lee's been very active with coming down to the program periodically. And so, I'd like to kick this off because Ann Lee wrote on her application that she was going to bring us some fresh ideas, and I heard that mentioned earlier in this meeting, that whole idea of having fresh ideas. But I would like to ask her to start, if she could just give us a little bit of information about your background and why, you know, you think your background lends itself to helping and being so
Sure.
useful.
Well, I have to admit, Marge and I know each other through our church, and Marge came to me and said, would you be interested in being on the board? And I said, well, let me think about it, not really knowing, because I didn't have a job description yet in my head, what it entailed to be on the board. And so then we met each other in the hallways, passing here, and I said, Marge, yes, I would love to be on the board. And she said, good, go make out an application. So so I went down the hall. Yeah, I went down the hall and made out the application, not even knowing, and I'm saying, I still don't have a job application to know what kind of new ideas I can give. But I tell you a little bit about myself. I've lived here in Littleton my whole life. Both of my parents were teachers here in Littleton. My mother a preschool teacher, and my dad physical education teacher here in Littleton. And I came here and went to school through in Littleton High School, Littleton school system. I was a teacher also and just retired in June, so I'm just now trying to get myself deciding what I'm doing with my life since I retired a few months ago. And when Marge came to me with this, I said, well, that's one thing that maybe I should start thinking about. I'm now out of children, and maybe I should start progressing to next level. I've been very active in the Baptist Church and working in the Christian education department, the music department.
You can underline the very with 3 underlines in the Baptist book.
Yes, Bob also is a friend from church. And we've recently started, it's not quite a year old, a Littleton Memory Cafe at our church, which I'm in charge of. And we meet once a month on a Saturday from 10 to 12. and have entertainment and refreshments for the folks, and it's for folks with memory issues and their caretakers. And so we think it's been going very well. We have a small core group. We're considering maybe changing the day our group that's running it, talking about, because we're not growing. And maybe it's because it's on Saturdays. And I've gone to the Groton Memory Cafe to see about theirs, and theirs is during the week. And a lot of the elders that go to that come by COA vans. And since they don't run on the weekends,
Right, right.
we don't have that luxury of, transportation for folks to come. So we're going to get together in the next month or so, or after Christmas, to discuss whether we feel we should try to change that to a different day of the week, probably Thursdays, to see if we can, attract a few more people, because when we started it, lots of people said, oh, that's really needed to have something like that. So that's basically my background. Dad lives with us. He's 92, and so he's taking more and more care as he progresses in his life. And so that's just where I am now. So I really don't know what I can offer this group other than I'm willing to learn and be part of a group, and I'm not a sit-backer, I'm a doer.
That's very true. I think I can speak firsthand about that. Probably Bob can too. Why don't we just continue along? And I kind of, question number 2, she just kind of answered, I believe. The question is, how will your skill set enhance the COA board? So maybe we could skip over that one, unless you have another question for her in that regard. But Jean, maybe you could pick up and take off, continue with the next question for Anley? And then just follow along to Maureen? Okay.
Okay. When faced with disagreements and
Contentious.
Contentious.
situations, how do you handle them?
Well, like everybody else, I don't like confrontation, but I think I handle it fairly well. I keep myself pretty calm. Try to, if I feel myself getting a little more riled than I should, then I try to take a step back and, collect myself before I say anything. So I think, yeah.
Part of this you may have already answered, but what are your interests with regard to elder services?
Elder services. Well, programming, for one thing, is, I think is important that we offer as many different programs as possible. Before my father came to live with us, he lived down in a retirement community in Florida, and when I would go to visit he and his wife, I said, if anybody down there is bored, it's their own fault, because they had so many things going in their retirement community, reading groups, and there was so much going on that I think it's just nice to have such a variety of programs to go along for everybody's interests.
Thank you.
What am I, number 5? What other volunteer positions have you been involved in? And I think you covered that.
Yeah, pretty much. Neighborhood supper, besides that, I'm in charge with the Baptist Church Neighborhood Supper, and yeah.
Good.
Thinking about Littleton's aging population, which is growing by leaps and bounds, what strikes you as needing the greatest attention at this time?
I would say wanting to keep the folks that live here and have lived here, keeping them in Littleton. So housing, the taxes, you know, we all know how they're going up every year, or they're high, so we have triples. So I think that's the most important to me, is the housing, and making sure that people aren't forced out of Littleton because of the cost of what it
Do you have
costs them to
do you
stay
have any
here.
ideas how we can accomplish that?
Like I said,
It's a tough one.
it
I
is a
know.
tough one, yep. Yep. I really don't, because like I said, I haven't had, I'm just thinking about my senior years, so I haven't done a whole lot of thinking, you know, in that direction.
That's what our housing subcommittee thought about the last 2 years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I did go to town meeting last time. My husband called and said, "Marge is up. Come down now." I was at home, and I said, call me when the COA goes up on," and he called.
wow.
And he said, "Marge is coming up in a few minutes. Come on down." So I got in my car, ran down, and
Thank you. Thank him for me.
Have you ever been involved with the senior tax program?
No, well, yes, a couple of years ago, I did some volunteering, and at that point, I was able to volunteer at Loaves and Fishes, and I did that one whole summer.
Okay.
And I
you
did
got
some
tax
work
credit, and you
here.
got
Yeah, the
tax
tax
credit.
credit, is that what
You know
you
that
mean?
program, which is now $58,000 and so forth, so that's one way that we're trying to help people with taxes.
Yeah.
The ones who aren't eligible for all of the indigent kind of gifts. But, okay. What are your feelings regarding visibility and presence of board members at senior events, town meetings, board meetings, such as the selectmen, the finance committee?
Well, I think it's important, if you've chosen to go on a board, that you represent yourself in the different avenues that you're involved in, you know, so.
May I just include that with one?
Sure.
Because the first question on here, which we didn't ask you, is board members are appointed by the selectmen. Therefore, each board member is considered an employee of the town. The responsibility brings with it an obligation to adhere to various laws, such as training at various times. We want board members to get trained at least once a year, which means usually a morning with the state senior program. And being on TV every month, whether you like it or not. Do you anticipate any difficulty adhering to these requirements?
No.
Because that would be something. And also, being on a subcommittee, they didn't put that in here, but you obviously
Right, no,
got
but
that
it's
sense.
in the job description that Marge gave me, so I'm aware of that.
I
but-
sent Ann Lee a copy of the job description a week ago. Not right away, though, when I heard she had filled out the application, but I did send it to her.
You did send it to me, right.
So, do we have any other questions? Thank you, I was going to go back to that, Bob, so, but thank you for doing that. Anyone have any other questions for Ann Lee?
I have a comment.
You have a comment. We would welcome a comment.
Thank you.
Is this a, is
You know
this
I'm
a
going to do it
3-year?
anyway. I have worked with Ann Lee over the last 20 years, and I have never seen such a dynamic person. And I'm going to say that right in front of her. She's been voted Volunteer of the Year at least once at the Baptist Church, and probably would have been voted every year if we had that opportunity. She's a wonderful person, and I think would be a tremendous asset to our board. And even though she doesn't know, she says she doesn't know exactly what to do, she'll come up with some things, because she's very good at that.
Thank you, Bob.
Would this be a full term, or is this filling a vacancy?
I can't be sure that I'm answering you correctly, but I am suspecting it might be, we're fulfilling 2 vacancies. We had 2 stepped down.
Oh, okay,
So, however, Barbara Cam stepped down at the end of her term.
right.
I think
Which
I'm
was
Barbara
last June.
And you
Cam's
took that
last
one.
year.
See, I have to stop and figure that out, and I hadn't.
My term
done
is
that.
actually up in June or July.
Okay,
Thank
well, Diane Crowe can answer that question, but I don't want to be
June of
incorrect.
18.
Thank you.
Maureen.
The term is for 3 years for a full board member. If you're replacing someone who
When was
left the
Susan
board, it would be
Dunn?
for the remainder of that term, and then the
Right.
3-year
That was
term.
in
So,
September. Susan Dunn stepped down.
and
Now-
Susan Dunn was just reappointed, wasn't she?
Yeah, I'm thinking she was probably a 3. There's 3 that expire 18. I'm seeing 2 on the website that expire 19 and 2 at 20. So filling 2 positions, I would assume one's for, to be replaced in June 30, 2019, and the other June 30, 2020. This way it's 3, 3, and 3. But I'd have to double check with that record.
Yep.
So it's either a 2 or a 3-year term.
Yeah.
More than likely.
What happens, just for your knowledge, if it's a 1-year term, you just have to submit application papers to, get reappointed by the Board of Selectmen. So, it's not a
Is
big
it a
thing.
limited 3-year term, or
No.
do you?
okay, now, the thing you need to realize, Ann Lee, is that we're going to make a recommendation, yes or no, to give you to the Board of Selectmen. Board of Selectmen will make the final appointment, but they look for our recommendation, and that's what we're doing at this point.
And they will ask you to be at that meeting, and I generally attend those meetings with you. So, or if I'm not able to, somebody else from the board would, type of thing. So, when they make their formal, whenever they put it on their agenda. So you won't hear anything until that time comes.
I'd hold the 22nd, the evening of the 22nd of January open, because that's...
January,
Yeah,
okay.
because if you're looking at interviewing, sorry, I forget your name, I know you said that.
Dave Silver.
David.
On the 8th, information has to be selected by the 17th for the 22nd meeting, so you could have time to do it on the 22nd if the agenda, we could fit it on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay, I would move that the board recommend Ann Lee to the Board of Selectmen for appointment.
Second the motion.
All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Unanimous. Welcome,
Thank you.
Ann Lee. Welcome for...
Thank you. Well-
Yes. And we will, what happens is you will be notified when you're going to be on the Board of Selectmen's agenda. Okay?
Thank you.
But, it's too busy right now at this time of year anyway, right? So it's a good thing it'll be in January probably.
Yeah, oh, yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
So, and David, just for your knowledge, I mean, in all fairness to David, he told me at the just before this meeting started that he had applied. And I said I had not received the application, otherwise perhaps we would have gotten it on the agenda too, but I hadn't. So he went downstairs to check, and then he came back and said, yes, and Diane had it. So, but we'll catch up with you. So, and
Okay. Good, well, thank you.
thank you. And welcome, hopefully the selectmen will agree with us. All right. Okay, do we have any other comments or anything under new business that is not on the agenda that I'm aware of? Okay, let's move on to the reports. Tina or Nicole, whoever's doing the reporting.
Okay, well, we do them together.
Okay,
so, yeah.
come on up and pull your chair up. Nicole, yep, you can slide down a little.
Oh, sorry.
And Bob, I'm sorry. Bob, I took it out of order, I apologize.
I noticed that.
I did.
I am duly insulted. Go right ahead.
I always feel bad for Tina, but she doesn't want to have a different spot on the agenda, so.
Okay, well, the report is pretty much self-explanatory, so we just have a little detail talking about, on the statistics, we realized intergenerational we should be including a lot more numbers, and we'll be including Tiger Tech, we'll be including the decorations that the third graders do in the diner, and of course we'll be including the Book Buddy program. Basically, all you're really seeing is the intergenerational birthday card program that the Shaker Lane and Russell Street students are providing birthday cards to those over 83 years old in the town. So that number will be different going forward. I'm going to let Nicole take it from here with December being a busy month.
Yep, so we're having a very busy December. We're still working on SMOC applications. Am I close enough? And we're working with the Park and Rec so that next year we're going to collaborate with them on the Holiday Helpers program. We've had a lot of events so far. We've had Northeast Justice Center had a presentation on mobile home rights the other night. We had 19 people who attended. Last Friday was the first in a two-part series on stress management. The second part will be this Friday. On the 14th, we're having a holiday fraud presentation. On the 18th, we're having the Emerson Wound Care Clinic come to do a presentation, and they're providing breakfast. On the 20th, we're having Ramblin' Richard come for holiday songs. We're still doing Shine every Wednesday. Tina and I are taking turns moderating the social anxiety group and the living alone group. And so far in January, we're starting a 4-part series on preventing hospitalization. So that's going to start in January. And their caregiver support group is going to continue in January. We're taking December off for the holidays.
That's it. And we are still working on a speaker for our January Caregiver Support Group meeting. And we're busy wrapping up TRED next week. Well, December 20th is our next meeting. And, we'll be voting to approve TRED. And we wanted to thank the Littleton Electric Light and Water Department for the donations of Thanksgiving baskets for 2 needy families in town. They did a really nice job. And we also want to mention that Loaves and Fishes will be distributing their Christmas or holiday dinner December 18th, Monday, with special times for people. Nicole and I are trying to update our snow shoveling list, and that includes both snow plowing and hand shoveling that some of the seniors need done. We want to thank, there's a couple of Boy Scouts who still are doing some hours towards community service, and we're hoping to get them with some of these upcoming storms.
That does not include sand, does it? That's something we do, right?
Well,
Yeah, we
The
probably
sand.
need to, we probably need to look at the sand program too.
Because
and see
I've
if we
been
can get-
questioned about it already.
Okay, all right, we'll get back to you on that one about the sand
Okay.
that's located is at the highway department, and we put in
Right.
buckets and get it to people. Okay, we can, look into that.
Good.
And I also want to take a chance to thank the Friends for their generosity too, and it will probably be even more with the Loaves and Fishes clothing department going away. The Friends have been very, very helpful in donating clothing to some of the families in need here. They allow me to go in with a client. We just record what's taken and put it on a voucher. And we've had to utilize it more this year than we have in the past. And I appreciate the generosity of being able to go in there and really getting people winter jackets, dresses for job interviews, children's clothing. And it really helps us where we do the whole spectrum. And we're also, Nicole and I are actively working on getting some gifts for those people who may not have been eligible for holiday helpers but still had need. So we're doing that. So every bit helps. And when the Friends give us these opportunities, it's really beneficial. So thanks.
that's great.
Yeah.
Great to hear, because I think the Littleton residents that are serviced by Loaves and Fishes are really going to be, well, all of the clients are going to be missing that clothing room.
Yes, and
Having been there myself and seeing them come out and stopping to show me how, what they got and being so excited about it, it's, it's a huge loss to to the volunteers that volunteer there, as well as the clients who get the free clothing. So,
It sounds really great, and I wish I had a spot that I could separate those clothes, and when they come in, just give it to them instead of use the thrift shop, to
yeah, but it's
sell
so
it.
hard with clothing, because you don't know sizes, and you don't know what they need it for, all of that. So it's very difficult, but just the fact that you're willing and you're working together is great. I think it's wonderful. So, that's the start, and it can become. I had heard that from one of the clients that years ago there was a program in Groton called what was it? Give and Take or something like that.
Something like that. It was in
And
the town hall, and it was
Right.
self-service.
It was a clothing thing, yeah, and that people, if they brought things in, they could take things out, and there was no cost involved. And I thought, what a creative idea! Maybe somebody ought to be creative and try to. But they lost the space. That's what my understanding is. They had to close it down because wherever the space was that was donated was taken from them, and so it was a total nonprofit, But it's a great idea.
We,
Just planting an idea.
well, you're right, and we do have times when we have a lot of clothes left over. You're making me think about maybe starting something where when we have these and we're trying to give them away, we could have a box or something that people, we could say every,
Whatever.
once a month or whatever, we have a place, come in and pick out whatever you want.
Food for thought, Barbara. I'm sure you're very creative, so you'll come up with an idea.
And just, Nicole, and I
Sounds
want to say
good.
thank you to
Sounds
everyone.
good.
Happy holidays, welcome. Jamie,
Thank
thanks
you
for your
so
help.
much.
And Anthony, thank you for your help. We appreciate it, so,
Well,
thanks.
thank you for
Don't
all you
leave.
do. Okay.
Before I give my monthly reports, I want to say that they are only here because of a couple of people that are very wonderful to us. Tina knows I love her, but I want Nicole to know that too, because without her, I don't know what I would have done. She, without a lot of knowledge about a lot of things that Pam did, she managed to put together everything that we needed and so forth, and I really do appreciate that. And it was extra, and it was special, and you had to do this until Jamie was able to come on, and I really wanted to say thank you very, very much.
She has,
There
yeah,
you go.
Nicole, you really have.
Nicole has certainly stepped up to the plate, so.
She never knew what she was getting into when she got this job,
Thank you.
and she's done well with it.
She has.
The reports, there's nothing spectacular. If you look at your two reports, the office report shows Pam, or at least the COA director, getting money in October and November. Well, I raised questions with that this morning and found out that this was for extra funds that were paid to Nicole and Tina for doing the extra work that they had to do. Pam's was actually cut off at the end of September where she should have been, and these were just a way to put in extra funds for them as they covered for not having a director here, and so that's what those numbers are. Other than that, there's nothing spectacular on the office report, the Mart report. I don't get the number of riders until later in the month because the senior center usually doesn't come out till the middle of the month with the thing. But last month, we didn't have the October, and in October, we did 575 people. Again, even more than in July, August, and September. So we're really pumping the vans, and obviously $6,017 in driver's costs in October, and then in November, $5,400 on a shorter month. So that's basically what they say. If anybody has any questions, but I think they're pretty straightforward.
That transportation program grows and grows. The numbers go up and up in that transportation program, yep.
Yep.
It's unreal. Okay, any questions for Bob? Or for Tina, and actually Nicole, I never did ask, but.
I move the reports be accepted as given.
Second? Mary seconded. Thank you, Mary. All those in favor of accepting the reports?
Aye.
Aye. You're good to go, Bob. All right, do we have any other business we need to attend to?
Move we adjourn.
Second? Second, Jean is seconding, thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I think it's a unanimous decision, and thank you all very much. I didn't even look at my, oh, we made it before 3, that's a good thing, that's my goal always, so.